For years, people thought like insects and spiders and the like were impossible from a single sheet of paper because they had too many appendages.
In origami, we can engineer all this complexity without scissors or without tearing.
Origami in the garden is inspired by, obviously, Japanese paper folding. But what originally inspired me to create the process and these techniques was the philosophy of tabula rasa, which is a Greek philosophy of beginning with a blank slate. And so every decision we make, every thought that we create is what determines our outcome. And so origami is a simple metaphor for that because every piece starts with a simple blank piece of paper. And so the idea that every fold is like a decision and the outcomes can be different depending on what your decisions are sort of inspired the concept of following through with origami in the garden. Every piece in origami in the garden and every piece that I create does begin with a single blank page. And so it's either folded or creased or crumpled into the design. And then I pioneered a technique that uses the lost wax casting process, which is a 6,000-year-old technique that typically starts with a clay original. And so I use the paper original and then I engineer the paper with wax to work within the casting process. When I first began embracing origami in my own catalog of work, I was told about this amazing Asian legend that if you make 1,000 cranes, you'll have a wish come true. And so I thought, wow, wouldn't that be amazing to build a single sculpture of 1,000 cranes? So the challenge is engineering 1,000 cranes into one statue, because you can see the 500 cranes standing above, and in the reflection you can see the 500 cranes that aren't present with us but do exist. And a lot of my work is designed to engage this idea of what we see and what we don't see. And so the reflection really comes back to that theme of what's going on beneath the surface, who's important in our lives that may not be with us today but are still affecting us. And so you can see the 4 different sizes represent 4 different generations, and in the reflection it goes the opposite direction. We work with origami masters from around the world, primarily American artists though, that have developed incredible new techniques of folding and get amazing detail. We have Dr. Robert J. Lang, who's one of the world's most famous origami artists and a physicist.
In addition to the art of origami, there are applications of origami. You can use folding to make things that deploy, that open and close by folding, and use the techniques of origami. And so people have, over the last 20 years, used origami techniques to make heart stents and telescopes and airbags and many more devices in the engineering world. And because I come from that engineering background, I could use the language of engineering to describe the concepts of origami and work with companies and universities and groups who are doing these applications of folding. This is a crease pattern. It's a plan of the most important folds in the origami shape, and in this case it's this praying mantis. So there's a lot of information encoded in this pattern. Solid lines are mountain folds shaped like that. And dashed lines are valley folds that go that way. And every crease pattern, every origami design, no matter how complicated, is still just mountains and valley folds. But there's also color here. And the color tells me the direction of the fold within the model. Every single green line there is going to end up running right along the middle of the folded design. That piece of paper would have started at about 20 inches, 18 to 20 inches. And another thing that made it possible to do something that's as complicated as this is that the paper is both very, very thin and very strong. And as it turns out, the paper that this is folded from is a type of paper called Robert Lang insect paper, designed and created by Michael LaFosse.
Well, here's my origami alligator that is folded from a single 6-foot square sheet of paper Only folding, no cuts. It's about 50 total hours of folding. You put 50 hours in folding an alligator, you want that to last. So I learned about the chemistry and the mechanics of making paper. I chose plant fibers that were very strong and clean them up well, grind them properly, and then color them with permanent pigments. Then you screen them out, press them and dry them, and you have paper.
And since origami is made from paper and paper is made from plants, we thought that was a really great combination and a way to connect to the programming at the botanical gardens that we're showing at.